Keep forgetting it's a key start. Oh yeah. Hey everyone, we are here with a 2025 Volkswagen Jetta S. And what does that S stand for? Who knows? It doesn't stand for sport, that's for sure. But the car starts at just over $22,000 US, and it has a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine. That's a 4-cylinder. And it's a little bit strange. I'm not sure when they deviated from having the 1.8 liters. They've had 2.0s in their GLIs, as well as the GTI, and they've changed from like a turbo to a naturally aspirated for their baselines, but yeah, this one has a 1.5 liter turbo, and it outputs 158 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. So it has quite a bit of torque. It's actually kind of similar to the TDI that I test drove when I was actually looking for one of these cars in like, oh, okay. Oh, I guess I'm in trouble. So a little bit about this car. It's a rental. My wife has been driving it for the past 2 weeks because her car's in the shop. And yeah, it's nice that we're able to give it a test drive and see what it's like, and see any new cars that I can drive around. I'm always down for driving. So, but let's talk about the exterior. The exterior of this car looks strange to me. It just looks like, to me, it looks like a Ford Taurus from maybe like 2015, 2016-ish. So maybe you have a difference of opinions, but it looks like a huge car. That's like, it doesn't look like a mid-size sedan. It doesn't look like a small sedan, which is what it used to be. So it's a little bit strange to me. I don't really understand where it lies in the market. I guess looking at the actual size of it, because all these cars are getting bigger, I guess it's in between like a Camry and a Corolla. Because I think Corollas are smaller than that, but Camrys are a little bit longer maybe. But it's around 185 inches long, and it just has some interesting characteristics. It has some body lines, some things that flow throughout the entire car. So on the sides, you can see sort of the body lines, some sharp edges, and it looks kind of cool on the sides, but overall, it just looks pretty dull to me. It looks big, it looks tall. So it's a little bit strange to me, but you know, it kind of reminds me of what the Passat used to be, and now this is the Passat, I guess, because they don't make the Passat anymore. But the exterior to me is just meh. I don't really like the way that it looks, and it just kind of bugs me that these cars are getting bigger. And this is essentially the sedan version of the Golf, which is strange to me because the Golf is a shorter car, you know? So that's a little bit about the exterior. I don't really like it. It has some lines, like the rear is probably the best view, which is strange to me because the front certainly doesn't look good. The side, like the 3/4 side, doesn't really look good. So it's a very strange kind of styling to me. I just don't particularly like it. But let's move on to the interior. The interior of this space. How is it to live with? So I like the steering wheel. It's pretty plain and simple. There's some buttons on here. They're the clicky buttons. They're not touch capacitive or anything like that. So that's nice. But other than that, everything kind of not very good. All the materials are pretty hard plastic. This is the softest thing that you get on the sides here, but everything here's kind of soft. It's kind of hard too. it's kind of just hard plastic everywhere. I'm so used to German cars having just a nicer build quality than some of the Korean or Toyota brand or like Japanese brands, but this one just doesn't do it for me. Like the interior is kind of meh. It looks fine, but after you tap behind all the screens and stuff like that, everything starts feeling like hard plastic. There is a bit of leathery feel on the top of the dashboard and on the sides of the door panels, but everywhere else, the door handles, everything like that, are very, very plasticky. So like when I start tapping around everything, like even the cup holder section is like all very, very distinctively hard plastic. And then this random, not the center console storage unit here, whatever you want to call this, the armrest, there's no like thing to close it, like or to like make it stay closed. So like it's not gonna go up or anything like that or down, but it's a little bit strange, just the way that this thing is. And there's no like clip. All the cars that I've driven, really ever that I've driven, have like a way for this to stay shut. So that's a little bit strange. There's kind of like a phone holder right here, but it's too small for your actual phone, at least phones nowadays, so that's a little bit strange to me. I think the touchscreen, the infotainments, the sound system, all of these things. The sound system is fine for a budget car. It just makes noise. It doesn't sound great or anything like that. The all-digital dash is fine. You can switch. It's fairly customizable, but it doesn't really allow me to show what I would want to show. So that's a little bit strange, but yeah, I think what's nice about the interior is that it does have Android Auto and It does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is nice. And there's a 8-inch touchscreen that's here. That's pretty responsive, so no issues there. It does make a loud clicky noise whenever you press a button or do anything like that. So all the general interior amenities seem okay for this price, I believe. So it fits in with like the Honda Civic and the Toyota Corolla and things like that. And I think probably base levels of the Camry and things like that. So yeah, I guess it works for that. It does come with lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control, which is always nice to have. Interior space is fine. The seats seem comfortable enough. I imagine just like any other budget car, that after you're driving it for like a couple hours, then your butt starts to get pretty sore. The interior room space, so passenger seat in the front, driver's seat is fine. No big issues here. One thing that I did notice is that the rear seat room is not super great. For a car this long, it's just as long as a Model 3. It's just as long as like any of the mid sedans, but there's not a lot of room back there for how big the car is. And then also the opening in the back for the trunk and things like that, it's not super great. It's not super big. It's not super easy to fold down the seats too. There's not really a way to fold down the seats from the rear seats. You have to go all the way into the trunk to actually open them. So that's a bit annoying. I wish there was like a button or something like that there to fold the seats down. Interior, I think that covers everything. I think something else that's randomly nice is that you get handles to hold all 4 doors. So that's something that's really nice, that randomly cars don't have that, and I don't really know why that is the case. That's a very strange thing to me. But it's a very that's really all about the interior. It looks fine. Some things that I don't like the piano black. There's piano black everywhere in this car, and I just cannot stand why car makers put piano black anywhere. Like, it's just something that it's going to reflect off of. and it's really annoying to that degree. Ooh, that's a deer. So the other thing is that the what is it called? The climate control and things like that, they're touch capacitive. So that's not super great. It's easy to get used to, but like you can't change it without looking at it, I feel. It might be fairly easy to swipe up and down for the AC on and off, because that's pretty mutual and easy to sort of feel. But everything else is kind of tough to just remember off the top of your head. I imagine you can learn after it takes a while, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit tough to feel without looking. The seat can go pretty low. You can't really see too much over the hood. It drops pretty far down, so that's what I was talking about. It seems like it's quite tall. Let's go around this turnabout here and kind of jump into the performance and overall engine and driver dynamics. So this car, as I mentioned before, has the 1.5 liter turbo. So that's what it sounds like. Something that's kind of cool about it is that you can hear the turbo whine, so that's kind of cool. You can just randomly hear it every now and then. But when you floor it, nothing really happens for a while. Now, there is a way to go into sport mode, so you just go into drive and then you click it down just a little bit like this. And then it shows you what gear you're in, and it's an 8-speed transmission. And then you can floor it. And then, oh, there's that deer again. Sorry, buddy. And it'll respond a lot quicker than you flooring it in just regular drive. So that's something that's nice that works on many cars. I don't think I would drive this car without being in S mode, quite honestly. And then you can push it to the side and go into manual mode. So you can hang out in a gear for a while. And then when it shifts gear, you can actually hear it kind of a blow off, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so this is supposed to get 29 miles to the gallon in the city and 40 miles to the gallon on the highway. So that's the trade-off with the 1.5 liter turbo, is that you can get good gas mileage. Do people get good gas mileage? It just depends how you drive, quite honestly. The tank, 13.2 gallons, so bigger than my Ford Focus, which had 12.4 gallons, so it fits. It's not a big tank. Definitely sounds like a 4-cylinder engine. And yeah, it just doesn't perform super well. It's 3,000 pounds, so it's relatively light. I just don't feel like there's really any feel in the driving. The steering is lighter than my Tesla is, so that's like strange to me. I don't really understand why that is the case. I feel like I should feel a little bit more. And then again, power, not much there. So it's nice day to day that it has some torque, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not gonna move you very far or very fast anywhere. So that's probably my major gripe with this. Oh, it has electronic start and stop. That's an interesting one. Caroline actually thought it was like a hybrid because it had that, but it's not. But it has this weird thing with the backup camera. The backup camera sucks, by the way. You can make adjustments on it, which is interesting. If anything, I turned down the brightness. I think that's the setting, because it's in the middle and it sucks. It says that it has like cross traffic monitoring warnings, but I haven't actually seen that. And there are no sensors either, so I don't know how it detects that. With that said, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we will see you in the next video.